Hey guys, it's Kaelin and I am back with another video. And today's video is going to be about a topic that everybody has been talking about. Kanye West. Kanye West has recently spoken out about a lot of things, and there's been a lot of controversy around Kanye. Because honestly, when has Kanye and controversy go together? Kanye Kim controversy, bow. Recently he spoke out on Twitter and through different interviews about his opinion on some issues, and I want to get and sit down and talk about that because I feel like there does need to be an open conversation, but I also want to give an explanation as to why I think that he's been saying things, and I just want to talk about that thing because it's really been bothering me the way that this has come about, and I've had some things on my mind. So if you want to hear what I gotta say, hit the subscribe button. Hey, to all you new people, if you are new to my videos, what's up? Welcome to the fam. Hey, I love you. I notice you, and you are important, so thank you. So all of you guys, if you are not subscribed to me, please, if you don't mind hitting that subscribe button and hitting the like button, that means so much to me, and you can join the amazing family, the growing family that we have here. And I just would love you forever. Complete the other half. Do it. Thank you. Okay, so let's talk about Kanye. Kanye has recently posted on Twitter, and he had an interview with Charlamagne the God. And I will say this before I even start. If you have not watched the video, it is I think an hour and 45 minutes or 2 hours of him and Charlamagne talking and having an interview. It is really insightful, and it really gives you a lot of information on what he's actually talking about. And if you have not watched that video and you are that person that has been commenting or saying, making jokes, or just going with the bandwagon of what everybody else is thinking, that is your first issue. And I have linked the video below where you can watch it on both YouTube and through the New York Times, which is where I initially found it. And that is where you need to get your source of information from if you want to know what Kanye actually said and what Kanye actually means when Kanye speaks. But this right here is kind of going to be the Cliff Notes version because clearly no one decided to watch the 2-hour video, or else we probably wouldn't be having this conversation right now. But here we go. So Kanye said, and this is probably the most controversial part of it, he said two things that threw people off, but the first one is the one I'm going to talk about, is that slavery was a choice. And I don't disagree with him. Now, I'm going to ask something of you guys. Stop being so dense. Stop taking everything at face value. I don't know how many times social media influencers, celebrities, parents, hell, anybody that you can name has always said that the media is not real. Social media, regular TV media is not necessarily 100% unbiased, unmanufactured real life. It is not raw, authentic real life. It is not that. Do not ever take it at face value. Do your research. So, that being said, this is no different. He went to TMZ and he made a video, which if I can, I will post it. If I can't, I won't post it. But where he said that slavery was a choice. And that threw everybody off. Everybody was understandably shocked. They were shook. They were just like, what is going on? And if you only saw the TMZ report, which came after his 2-hour interview, again, assuming no one else watched because, again, we wouldn't be here, you would be shocked. You would be like, what the hell? When he originally said his first thing that he loved Trump, everybody was shook. When he was starting to say his things on Twitter just alone, people were shook. And I understand. I get it. Even then, I was still very much so understanding of where he was coming from and his perspective. And when he did the interview, I took it and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's exactly what I was saying. And I've had several conversations with friends who were rightfully upset and pissed because Kanye fan. I love Kanye. So why would you say this about black people? Slavery was not a choice as far as coming to Africa saying, hey, you guys, y'all want to come to America and be raped and pillaged for the next 200 years? And yeah, our ancestors did not say yes to that. That was not the choice. Did they have a choice of when they got here say, hey, this is pretty shitty and I don't like any of this, but you know what, I'm going to just stay here, because what else do I have to do? No, that is not what he said either. He is also not saying that when they got here, after 200 years, that they were just like, you know what, clocking out, tired of it, not doing it anymore. I don't want to do this. I'm just not feeling it, master. It's not my thing. No, that's not what he's saying. What he is saying is that if we are going to be literal, 400 years of slavery never happened. 200 and some odd years of slavery, physical and chain, physical oppression, yes, did happen. 400, no. What he's talking about is the mental oppression. So if we all, because all of y'all seem like y'all are sociologists or psychologists and are saying that his mental illness is what is propelling all of this. If we look at labeling theory and we say, you have been told your whole entire life that you are a slave, you were a slave, you are going to be nothing but second-class citizens, or you are always trying to fight just to be up here and equal. You're never trying to be up here. You're just always trying to be equal. You get that becomes your mindset. That is how they have trapped slaves. That's how they trapped slaves. They dehumanized them. They raped and pillaged them and made them feel as though that they were stuck in their situation, when in fact they could have easily overpowered all of the slave masters. Easily. Black people are nuck if you buck till you die. That is black people. I will beat you up. But they didn't have that mindset because they were trained, and that mindset was taken away from them. That independent mindset was taken away from them. They felt like they didn't have a choice. But they did have a choice. And when people like Harriet Tubman, or people like Malcolm X, or people like Martin Luther King or Rosa Parks decided that enough is enough, we need to do something about this, they made change. That is what black people have always done, is been able to make a change. When black people are tired of some shit, we make a change. We will fight for whatever we believe in. And that is what he's talking about. Racism, he was not neglecting. If you listen to the interview, he didn't say that racism was not a thing that we have been through, are going through, and probably will be going through. He never said that. He literally said those words, that we have been through racism, are still going through racism, and racism is occurring in the future. It's going to keep occurring. What he's saying is that don't buy into this second-rate citizenship. Don't buy into this oppression, because that's what they feed us. What he's talking about is that when you get on the stage, and like he said, when you get on the stage at the Grammys, when you get on the stage at the Oscars, when you get on the stage at the Women's March, or when you get on any platform on CNN or whatever, you can talk about Martin Luther King all day, talk about Malcolm X all day, talk about Harriet Tubman all day, because those people are safe. They are far enough away that it's just like, okay, yeah, we remember those people, they did a great deed, and we are fighting in their name. But we have been marching for decades, and that has been the standard, and that is what's working for us. But some people want to find other alternatives. What is the other alternative? Economic freedom, financial freedom. In these public schools that we all, people of color, probably are going to, we don't get the education of assets, or how to maintain your wealth, or stocks, or bonds. We don't get any of that. We don't know that you can put your money in an offshore account. We don't know that. We don't get that information, because that is what's stifling us. Because economic success is what got Martin Luther King killed. That is what gets people killed, is when you start saying that you can put communities together. Black people were disenfranchised. When cocaine was infiltrated into black societies, that was to disenfranchise black communities, because black communities were thriving. Black communities were making their own economic success within America. And that is what they did not want, because of that same mental mindset, is that there's more of us, people of color, brown people, than there are of white people. So if we wanted to overthrow America, we definitely could. We are trained to think that we cannot do that we need to assimilate into this culture rather than make it our own. We always talk about black appropriation or some sort of appropriation because we contribute to this country. This country is literally based on many other cultures and their contributions to this nation. And that is what makes this culture. We make this culture. We make this country. And so to tell us that we have to just try to make it when we actually make the whole entire circle, like, what? Well, that's what he's trying to say. He's not trying to say that slavery was a choice. He's saying that mental slavery is a choice. That you can be whatever you want to be. I mean, even in his interview, he talked about how Obama was that glimmer of hope of what we can be. But in terms of why he necessarily likes Trump or appreciates Trump, Trump did something for America that we don't give him credit for. He unmasked and gave these people that we thought were gone a voice. We thought because Obama was here and because we have a black president, we have a black first lady, we have all these black women doing things, we have gay rights movement, we have trans movement, we have all of these things going on, that we were good, that everything was peachy keen, that we were working and we've moved so far. But those country bumpkins in Kentucky that are racist and having their neo-Nazi flags on their porches are still there. They were still there. They were just in hiding, or they weren't in the main form. They weren't in the mainstream media. Now that our president is a bigot, those people have a voice. But had they not had this voice, we would think that they were still gone. Had Hillary Clinton won, we would think that, oh, we're still moving upwards, when there's a lot of work to be done. And I think that people forget that there is still those people out here, and that yes, Donald Trump embodies all of that, but he's showing the world that they still exist, that go off and to be these politicians, these lawyers, these high-powered people still exist, and they still control a lot of what we see in today's life, and that white privilege is very much so real. Those are the things that Donald Trump tells us and that shows us. Do I think that Kanye necessarily likes everything that Donald Trump says, or that he likes his policies or XYZ? No, I don't necessarily believe that. What I do know is that they do have something in common. They speak their minds. And though Donald Trump says like shitty things, the stuff that he says resonates with some people, and that's what we need to address. Is the fact that what he's saying resonates with anybody in our country. He should not have ever had a chance to do this, to be where he is. But the fact that he did and succeeded is the problem. And that's what we need to address. And yes, marching is all good and dandy. And I have marched in my fair share. I have went to do XYZ. I also vote in every election that I possibly can. But there are other ways. There are other things. People even when he was talking, people wanted to diminish him. Everybody did exactly what he said in that video. That they took him saying slavery was a choice, made it a headline, and threw it out there, out of context. And so everybody was just like, oh, Kanye's off the rockers. He's mental illness. He needs to just sit down and eat your damn food because you are going crazy. When you don't listen to what he's actually saying, what he's trying to propel. He's trying to propel a mindset of freedom, of free thinking, to get out of just this bubble. I mean, even when he was in his interview, he was saying that when people say Kanye West, the rapper, when they do that, they are doing that to even diminish his credibility. The rapper is talking about politics. What? The same thing gets done when Jay-Z is out here making moves for black people. He has a whole scholarship. He consistently talks about black issues, donates to black causes, but yet and still whenever he's in mainstream media, it's from cocaine to riches, from poverty to this, ex-cocaine dealer. And it's like, stop it. And this man is trying to do nothing but good for our people and trying to propel us. And we don't give these people the credit they deserve. We don't give Jay-Z the amount of credit that we should have been giving him until now. But yet and still, Kanye is saying a lot of the same things. He's just saying it in Kanye's way because Kanye has literally never been able to communicate. So I don't understand why people expect him to just be so freaking literate. But whenever he says it, it's like, okay, no, we're just gonna jump on the bandwagon and say, oh, he's crazy, he's out of there, he must not know what he's talking about. And it's like, no, stop it. Listen to his 2-hour interview and then make a judgment call. Say what you want to say, have your opinion at that point in time. But citing TMZ as your resource is literally like citing Wikipedia on a grad paper. Kanye West, in the same interview that he released when the TMZ interview came out, said everybody's gonna do XYZ, and that he likes to say what everybody is gonna say about him before anybody says it. So coincidentally, on the same day, he has a TMZ interview that says the only things that people cared about, the only things that people were talking about, they said. And then he has a black person out of this room of TMZ news people, all these opinionated white people, all these opinionated people of color. He chose one black man to directly address every issue that black people have been saying to his face, and it cuts off, signaling that he knows that people are going to say these things. He understands that. It's not that he's dumb or oblivious to that, but it's the fact that I want you guys to at least listen to my full video and understand my full interview before y'all try to make some generalization about what I'm saying. Y'all aren't gonna do that. Y'all are just gonna look at this TNT thing and then wait till my album comes out and you'll be like, oh my god, that's what he was talking about. Oh, we love Kanye. And it's like, had you just listened to his interview, you never would have even been here. But that's my 2 cents. I feel as though we as people, especially black people, need to understand that black people can have different opinions or different paths to the same goal. You don't have to just post the hashtag and go to the rallies to support black people. You can go other routes. And it may seem unorthodox, but walk with people. See where they're going. See their perspectives. Yes, do I think that Kanye saying what he said in the way that he said it is detrimental? Yes, because it makes white people think, oh, yeah, they just gotta pick themselves up by their bootstraps and they'll be good. No, that's not the case. Y'all have to stop being racist. That's how that works. But Kanye, you can't just say everything in the way that you want to say it because not everybody's gonna understand that. So you need to hold yourself accountable, and we need to hold him accountable for not being able to just say what you want to say. But if you know that your music is the way that you can communicate the best, throw that out there. Say that, put your album out there and put the interview out there so people can understand the things. So yes, when the title comes out, we also have the music to back it up. We have other resources besides just what the media is going to put out there. And everybody else out there, don't just, like I said, criticize because you don't like their approach. Walk with people, see their perspective. We see black people dying and we see the consequences of that because we are middle class, lower class citizens in America. We see people dying on the streets. We see police brutality. We see poverty. We see all of that. Kanye may not necessarily see that directly, but a perspective that we don't get to see that he does is those black people who made it across the tracks, who now are in a box because they can't speak the way they want to. They can't wear their hair the way they want to. They can't say all of the things that they want to because they may get kicked out. They fear all of the things that they worked for to make sure that their family and that their lineage is able to live a prosperous, better life than they did could be shattered because they spoke out too soon or they said the wrong things. They were talking about the wrong things. They were telling black people the right things and somebody got pissed off and offed them. I mean, again, that's how we've lost a lot of our political figures, our black figures, is that they started getting too prominent to where they lost their voice, they lost their life. So that's a very real concept for people like him. They go through things that we don't necessarily see. So yes, it may look like the grass is green on the other side, but they still go through things. But yeah, that's all I have to say. But if you guys like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you have a different opinion, please leave it in the comments. We need to have these type of discussions because these opinions are very valid and we need to talk about these things. My biggest thing is having the discourse. So yes, again, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And yes, wait on my next video and I'll see you guys later. Okay? Bye.